Hi, today we are going to discuss about anger management, what actually anger management means, how it affects individuals, families, communities, and what can we do to minimize the harm anger causes. According to the British Association of Anger Management report statistics, 32% have close friends or family members who has trouble controlling their anger. 12% say that they have trouble controlling their own anger. 20% have ended relationship because of someone's anger, and 58% wouldn't know where to seek help. And the last thing, 64% agree that people in general are getting more angrier. There are a few common myths about anger, about getting angry. Some of them are like anger is a bad emotion, anger needs to be unleashed, ignoring anger will make it go away, you can't control anger, or if I don't get angry, people will think I'm a pushover, I'm so soft, or anybody can do or say something to me. Well, we're going to start with the bad emotion. There is no such thing as a good or bad emotion. There are instinctual reactions that we don't make conscious decisions for them to come. In fact, some anger reactions are appropriate, such as anger against discrimination, injustice, and abuse. So what can be judged as a positive and negative, healthy or unhealthy, is how we react to the anger. Then second one, anger needs to be unleashed for it to go away. It is true that anger needs to be expressed in order for symptoms to be relieved. However, expressing anger in verbally or physically aggressive ways are not the only way to unleash anger. Nor anger is an excuse for a person to be aggressive. Make sure anger is not an excuse for a person to be aggressive. The expression of anger can be tempered by rationality. Then it comes ignoring anger will make it go away. Generally, all kinds of emotions do not disappear when ignored. The anger just gets temporarily shelved and will likely to find other ways of getting expressed. It can get projected to another person, transform into a physical symptom, or build up for a bigger future blow up. Some of our behaviors may even be unconscious ways of expressing angry. You can't control your anger. Well, this myth is related to the second one, which is you can't. Well, you need to unleash your anger. The instinct doesn't mean that you are but a slave of your impulses. Awareness of anger dynamics and conscious effort to rise above your anger can help you regain control of your reactions. Then the last one, views of others. It's like if I don't get angry, people will think I'm a pushover. It's true that a person can lose credibility if he makes rules and then ignores violations. However, anger is not the only way of a person can show that there are consequences to violations. In fact, in most effective way of disciplining others is to have a calm, non-emotional approach to dealing with rule breakers. Calm rationality and can communicate strength too. Dealing with anger. There are so many helpful ways and unhelpful ways as well to deal with anger, because dealing with anger is really important in our day-to-day life. What we do in a helpful ways? We acknowledge, we calm ourselves, we speak up, and we explain. When we acknowledge that we are angry, which is like really important thing, we have to recognize that when we are angry and give yourself permission to feel it. This can be as simple as saying to yourself, I'm angry. Remember, you can't control something you don't admit exists. Then calm yourself. Before you say anything, make sure you calm yourself. It helps to defer any reactions until you have reached the return phase of anger cycle. Otherwise, you might end up saying or doing something that would later regret. So you can just count 1 to 10 to calm yourself, or do something, singing, music, read some holy books, do whatever those things which actually makes you calm before you say anything. And then speak up. See, do speak up when something is important to you, when something is irritating you. This is the opposite of keeping it all in. If a matter is so much important to you that then keeping silent would just result in physical and mental symptoms. So it's better you let it out. If it is not possible to speak to the person concerned, at least look for a trusted friend or a mental health professional. Then it comes to explanation. Helpful ways in explanation. Do explain when you're feeling in a manner that shows ownership and responsibility for your anger. Take ownership and responsibility for your feelings. This makes the anger within your control. Because remember one thing, you can't control other people, but you can control yourself. Now we all get some idea that anger is a natural and unavoidable reaction. We have discussed helpful ways to dealing with anger. Now we're going to discuss unhelpful ways of dealing with anger. First of them is don't ignore it. Some people respond to anger by not admitting even to themselves that they are angry. Defense mechanisms often used to ignore anger include laughing an issue off, distracting oneself from the problem, and trivializing the trigger's impact. Second one, don't keep it inside. There are people who do recognize that they are angry. However, they choose to obsess about the anger in silence rather than express it. They can bear grudges for a long time. People like this, also called stuffers, are more likely to develop hypertension compared to others. They are also likely to just explode one day once the anger has built to the point that they can't keep it inside. Here comes the third one. Don't get angry. Here comes the third one. Don't get aggressive. The right to vent your anger doesn't extend to doing it in ways that can hurt others, hurt yourself, or damage property. Aggression can be verbal or physical, so don't get aggressive. Just try to control yourself. Then the last one, don't passive aggressive. Well, what is a passive aggressiveness? It actually refers to indirect or underhanded means to get back at the person who made you angry. For example, passive aggressive behaviors are gossiping, tardiness, backbiting. The first step in gaining control of anger is to recognize its warning signs. You have to be aware of symptoms that your anger is about to build up so that you can catch yourself early and make necessary intervention. There could be different signs: physical, mental, emotional, behavioral. And physical signs of anger include rapid heart rate, difficult breathing, headache, sweating, shaking. On the other side, if you see mental signs of anger include difficulty in obsessing the situation, cynicism, and emotional signs, which include sadness, irritability, guilt, feeling like you need to hurt someone, needing to be alone, needing to isolate oneself, and numbness. Then the last one, an important one, behavioral sign, which is like clenching of fist, pounding of fist on the wall, table, or any surface, pacing, raising one's voice. Any act of aggression is a part of behavioral. There are 5 phases of cycle of anger: trigger, escalation, crisis, recovery, and the last one is depression. In trigger phase, it actually happens when someone feels threat or a loss and our body actually prepares to respond. Anger triggers from person to person and can come from both environmental or from thought processes. And then it comes escalation, which is after trigger, which is a second phase. It is a progressive appearance of anger response. In this phase, our body prepares for a crisis after perceiving the trigger. The preparation is mostly physical and is manifested through symptoms like rapid breathing, increased heart rate, and a raised blood pressure. Then the third one, crisis. In the crisis phase, our body is actually on a full alert, prepared to take action and respond to the trigger. During this phase, logic and rationality may be limited, if not impaired, because the anger instinct takes over. And in extreme cases, I will repeat, in extreme cases, the crisis phase means that a person may be a serious danger to himself or to the other person. Then it comes recovery, which is the fourth phase. In the recovery phase, actually, when the anger has been spent or actually controlled, There is no steady return to a person's normal adaptive state. If the right intervention is applied, the return to normality progresses smoothly. However, an inappropriate intervention can reignite the anger and serve as a new trigger. Then it comes to the last part, which is the depression phase. The depression phase marks a return to a person's normal phase. Physically, this stage marks below the normal vital signs, such as a heart rate, so that the body can recover equilibrium. Consequently, this stage may be marked by embarrassment, guilt, regret, and depression. When you're angry, just try to make sure. First thing is to calm yourself. Second thing is try to gain the control of your own self. You can use different techniques. You don't need anybody's help. If you're angry, you can still use these most commonly used techniques to calm yourself, like breathing exercise. Just try to take control of your breath. Meditation, which is really very good. Exercising mental discipline. For mental discipline, most meditation techniques involve increasing self-awareness, monitoring thoughts, and focusing. PMR, progressive muscle relaxation. PMR is actually a technique of stress management that involves mentally inducing your muscles to tense and relax. Then visualization is a mental imagination to induce relaxation. Some visualization exercise involves picturing a place, beach, garden, whatever makes you calm, whatever makes you gain your control back, your self-control back. Some people find music very relaxing, very relaxing. And then art and craft. There are people who find working with their hands as a good way to relax. So there are different things. Whatever makes you easy, whatever makes you calm, you should go for that. Then blowing of steam is actually a bit different. It's like you can scream, you can do some physical exercise, pillow punching, writing, singing. So what you can do in screaming? Well, it all depends on someone's how angry he is or she is, and what she or he may think that is gonna make, what technique can help them, like screaming. Well, if the place would allow it, screaming can help release the tension and frustration that come with anger. Think of the thing that angers you the most, build momentum, and let it out in one big